Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And this time around, it's the movie Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. Sorry, the dog was just doing something weird down there. Welcome, everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see here, please hit that subscribe button down below there. Also, if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule up there. I change it every week. I mostly stick to it. Yesterday was uh, a work day that kind of got away from me. So that's why this is happening today. Otherwise, there's also stuff in there like links to my pages, all kinds of social media, all that kind of stuff that's there. So let's get started, shall we? So this is going to be the spoiler-free version here, this section here. And just so you know, I actually saw this movie, I want to say 3 weeks before it opened, somewhere around there. Amazon Prime members were able to, they had one sneak preview of that. It was one Saturday at one showing, and you had to buy a ticket, if you wanted to see it. It wasn't a free pass. So I bought a ticket and I went and saw it. So that's how I did it. And also Dungeons and Dragons, the game, um, I haven't played since, I would say in my teen years, which is a long time ago, in a suburban neighborhood, not too far away from here, from where I'm living at the moment. So yeah, it's been a while since I've played, a real game of Dungeons and Dragons. But anyway, let's go back to the movie. Um, the movie is set in this Dungeons and Dragons world, where you know you have a thief, you have a warrior, and Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez, and they are basically on a quest to right a wrong. Is really what we got down to. And again, I'm trying to do spoiler free here. Remind you on this one. So they of course go on a lot of quests. They gather their group together and have to complete that quest. That's what it is. And a lot of stuff happens in between and along the way. There is humor to this. There are Easter eggs everywhere in this movie for Dungeons and Dragons fans, both old and new, and even some stuff in there. Which, when I get into the spoilers, I'll tell you about those things as well. So, how is it overall? Overall, it's a fun movie. It really is a fun movie. It drags on a little touch too long. I'll say that much. How long is the running time on this? I'm actually looking at the moment right now. It's 2 hours and 14 minutes. It could have been tightened up by about 15 minutes. You could have, easily taken out 15 minutes of it and had a really tight movie. There's things here and there that were just kind of, I mean, there's some funny stuff in there too. And it plays a lot of humor. I'll say this much. So, um, is it good? Is it worth your time? Yeah, it is. I mean, if it's something, and again, I say this as, I look at now at a theater experience as, you want to see spectacle is what that's the only reason why I want to go to a theater is a movie has to be a spectacle. At ticket prices the way they are now, honestly, when you can buy the movie for the same price as a ticket, especially for me, I I'll end up, if I'm gonna watch an art house movie or something like that, I can wait till it comes out on streaming or it comes out on, one of the streaming services or anything like that, and I can buy it digitally, whatnot. That's fine. But for the big bombastic spectacle kind of movies like this, I want to go and see it in the theater. I want to see, on a big screen. I want to hear the theater, I see it on a big screen at home, don't, and surround sound and everything, but this is a little something different. Same thing like John Wick 4, any of the Marvel movies, any of the DC movies. I want to see those in theaters. That's the difference between seeing it in the theater and seeing it at home. So, is it worth seeing it in the theater to pay that ticket price, the, exorbitant ticket price? Yeah, it's worth it. It's fun. And also I noticed that some select AMC theaters are selling a popcorn bucket that is in the shape of a 20-sided dice, which looks kind of cool and all that stuff. If you've got 40 extra dollars that you want to throw that way, but it's there if you want it. I thought about it for a brief minute and then I was like, nah, I really don't need it. So there you have it. It is worth your time. It's fun. It's like I said, it's got humor to it. It has, the stakes to it as well. It is like playing a Dungeons and Dragons game, like you're going on a quest, and you even have the asides of, when people get into stupid arguments, that kind of stuff. That is in there. That's all part of this. And that's what makes it worth it. And also the actors are fun in this as well. So that's the end of the spoiler-free version, by the way, which I know didn't tell you that much, but still. Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. Give you enough time to hit pause, whatever you need to do. All right. So, spoiler versions. Um the whole quest of you know, Elgin. How the fuck do you say his name? Chris Pine's character, Edgin. There we go, Edgin, and Holga. So Holga is Michelle Rodriguez. So he's the thief. She is the. He's really a paladin masquerading as a thief, but still, whatever. She's the warrior. And of course, you have Simon, who is the mage. Doric is your elf. You do have a paladin in Zank, who is played by Regé-Jean Page, who I know is in he's in some popular stuff. Anyway, um, so of course you get your group together and you're going on a quest. And really, what it is, he's trying to save his daughter from another thief that kind of framed them. Well, not really framed them, but he did frame them for the most part and got them thrown in jail, and they were going to get released from jail, but they escaped from jail. So there's some, like I said, there's humorous aspects to it. um there was maybe one side quest too many, I think, on this, and that's, like I said, that's why it ran over a little bit and could have been shortened by about 15 minutes and still did a pretty decent job. So Forge, played by Hugh Grant, is another thief who is their fellow thief who frames them, and he is working with a red mage who is trying to bring about basically the end of the world, which is what they do, of course. And they are going to stop, Edgin and Holga and their group are going to stop it. Of course, that's what they're going to do in their bumbling way that they do this. So the final fight scene, I guess you could say, where there's a giant maze, which again harkens back to old Dungeons and Dragons, where you have someone actually making a maze that you have to go through, basically making maps of going through this dungeon, if you will, and fighting these different creatures. These creatures keep popping up within the maze, and the walls keep moving in this maze too. So walls will disappear and creatures will appear, all this kind of stuff. So there are some Easter eggs, like I said, throughout. And one of the Easter eggs that caught me, that I saw. So in the 80s, there was a animated TV series, Dungeons and Dragons, and it was about a group of high school kids who get sucked away to a faraway land, and as their different characters. And in order to get home, they have to complete different quests, and also defeat the bad guy. And of course, every time they're almost finding the way back home, they have to give up whatever it is, in order to, whatever quest that they've gone out, after whatever the goodie is, they have to give it up because otherwise it would harm the people of that world rather than them just getting to go home. So anyway, that group of kids are actually in the movie in the maze at one point. It's a blink and you miss it kind of thing, and but they are dressed up all in the costumes of those people, and it was one of those things that made me kind of laugh. It was a nice little throw in there from the writers and the directors to have that. I mean, you also have the owl bear that you've seen in the previews. There's all kinds of stuff that's in here. It's going to be fun for you. That's what you want to do when you go and see a movie. Is you want to have fun, and yeah, this does not disappoint in that way. Do they set it up for a sequel? Well, of course they do. I mean, well, why else wouldn't you know? You wouldn't do this kind of movie without having it being set up for a sequel. So yes, they do have it set up for a sequel, and I can see there being lots of different ways of going out into this world in different directions, shall we say, without having to deal with the same core group of people. You can actually have other quests, other I guess you could say players in all of this, all that kind of stuff, and still have a good time. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Go out and take a look at it. Um, Especially if you're a Dungeons and Dragons fan, you'll probably like it as well. Who knows? I don't know. There's people that might not like it because that's how people are now. It's you have to be contrary to everything. I guess at this point, instead of if you don't like it, don't watch it. That's really what it comes down to. So, with that said, what else do I have going on for the rest of this week? Well, tomorrow, and I'm going to do this tomorrow morning. I know it says tomorrow afternoon, but I'm actually going to switch that out. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to do a Sunday morning edition of Saturday morning blast off. There we go. Yeah. And there's just so much stuff coming out of Star Wars Celebration that's happening in London right now that I really can't ignore that stuff. And there's also been other stuff that's been popping up here and there. So we'll do that tomorrow morning. Monday and Tuesday I'll be off. Wednesday will be another episode of The Mandalorian. It's the penultimate episode of The Mandalorian. Um, Thursday, let me see what else do I have going on here. I am thinking about maybe adding Barry uh, to the, you know, it's the final season of Barry for season 4. You know what? Fuck it. I might do that. I might change this up. And Monday, I might do, you know, I might cover Barry season 4. I think that's what'll happen on Monday. Yeah. So take a look at the schedule. It'll be up there, and then you can see what's going to happen there. I'll probably sneak another "Is it worth my time" in there as well. Um, Actually, Monday I won't be doing that because that's right. I got something else. Monday and Tuesday I've got stuff going on, so maybe I'll move that over to Thursday or something like that. But again, take a look at the schedule over at suspendedfanimation.com. That's where I have the schedule that I put up there, plus all the links to my social media and all the links to my pages as well. All righty. I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks, everyone. I will see you again on tomorrow morning. Until then, oh, you know what? Actually, let me plug everything before I leave, too. I keep forgetting to do all that. I did plug Suspended Fanimation, but if you like what you see here, well, even if you don't, if you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here of YouTube. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, please hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button and the share button as well. And I'm going to let you guys go. There we go. That's where we're at. Thanks, everyone. I will see you again tomorrow. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may get stuck in a gelatinous cube, and that's really not good because that shit dissolves you pretty quickly. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night. Stay safe, be well, take care, and stay safe out there, everyone. Thanks, everyone. Good night.